At least we know for Tesla, our kind of hero of the Mag 7 over the last week, Jenny, maybe gets a leg up on some of its international competition now.
I mean, you'd like to hope so, because I would say as far as like news cycle goes right now, we're so desperately searching for, I mean, like some upside in some of these tech. I just don't understand right now the tech narrative. I don't understand it in its entirety.
Well, Nvidia yesterday just got clobbered.
Right. So I just right now.
Tesla did too yesterday, but.
It did, but Tesla also had a better 2 sessions prior.
Correct.
Which is what I think has felt so different.
Correct. Yes, that was important because the S&P 500 erased Monday's gains, but Tesla did not.
No, correct. So I would say that as far as like Tesla's right now concerned, I don't think that this news this morning necessarily helping it relating to this tariffs conversation, because I actually thought this would be maybe not as bad of a thing for some of the domestic companies, but it's not reading like that this morning.
Tesla shares were higher yesterday afternoon. They still doing all right now, right?
They are still doing all right, but I mean, I guess when you read about some of like the implications of like what wide-reaching like mass tariffs on the globe will really do for Tesla, I think right now what I was seeing was Rivian's expected to take a bit more of a hit because based on where they source their parts, but Tesla faring okay right now.
That was always kind of this strange notion of the Elon Musk presidential premium. You know, where people are saying that, it's, you know, like, so what is the policy they're going to design around Tesla? Like nothing, but arguably worse for other car makers.
Well, that was always the most bizarre. I mean, like we saw all these companies already begin this like repricing to the downside, where Tesla was for some reason entirely immune. I never understood that. Like we thought that like Elon Musk was going to like exclude specifically Tesla from policy. I mean, maybe I had more faith in the administration than that.
Well, this one they will be, because it's only going to be
true.
It's only going to be international importers.
So yeah, they're definitely not taking on as much of a hit. But if you look at, I guess what confuses me is like all this pushback right now from the European Commission, like this is bad for business. Yes, bad for your companies. But if you look at the largest countries that import autos, we're the largest like by like 10x. Like we import roughly right now 54% of all of these parts for autos, whereas no other company or country even comes close. Yeah. So I mean, I think that it's sure maybe bad for business in the European Commission. I actually don't think this is a bad thing though for the U.S. auto business.
Yeah, well, I think it's kind of the idea. So we'll see if Tesla can turn a not bad story into a bullish catalyst. You know, that's kind of the question here. There's a difference between explicitly good for your business, and just not as bad for your business for other things. So, but maybe it will bring people to buy domestic. I don't know.
You'd hope so. It sort of reminds me of like the impact that Tesla saw from like the UAW strike a few years ago, where it was like it wasn't really necessarily like involving Tesla directly, but it somehow still fared well for them.
Yeah,
I think that's like because you see like the way in which right now economists. Thank you. Wow. I like these auto companies, but you think about the ways in which like economists are forecasting like what this means for Ford, what this means for GM, what this means. All that means really is Tesla continues to like strengthen here domestically. And as I've been saying over and over every day, 50% of their sales are still here in the U.S. I mean, Germany, the EU can be mad all they want, but they're less than 2% of their revenue.
All right. So Tesla hanging in there gives us some hope for today. You also got some commentary out on some tech stuff, right? We got to look at AMD.
Yeah, so AMD today with a downgrade, and this is, I mean, interesting news because right now it's actually been echoed by 8 other analysts on the year that they are just not faring compared to Nvidia. And they acknowledged, I mean, the fact that Nvidia right now has about 90%, 89% of the overall market share within some of these more advanced AI features. And right now AMD is second, sure, with less than 10%, Intel's third. So AMD right now just continuing to not at all stack up next to Nvidia.
What a disappointment.
Yeah, but also nothing new here being said out of Jefferies. I think that they're highlighting the fact that this is not a 2-horse race. We're not even able to see like a second competitor. Nvidia just hasn't been getting that treatment as such, though.
Yeah, well, with Nvidia kind of dead money now for like a year, and AMD, as they put it, not getting traction in AI. I mean, this stock could really get hit if this analyst is right and the Wall Street expectations are too high, because this stock has already been very disappointing. So not a great tone for our tech trade this morning, but AMD has been a severe underperformer on its own. So
it has, which is then when you say that it's the note is that it's like right now in trouble losing share to Nvidia.
Yeah.
I say this has been the story now for 2 years.
yeah, this shouldn't affect the broader semiconductor trade, but
No.
heads up for AMD today. Okay, thanks, Jenny. Appreciate that very much.